haunted by their stories. Scrolling through TikTok one night, I stumbled upon a comment that sent chills down my spine. "You're not just telling their stories, you're inviting them in." It was just another episode of my podcast about urban legends, or so I thought. It started with whispers in my apartment, faint and indecipherable, weaving through the corners of my mind. I dismissed them, attributing them to overwork or perhaps the eerie nature of my research. But then, the whispers grew bolder, forming words I never wanted to hear. By the time I saw the first figure, a woman draped in tattered clothing, I was too deep into the stories to stop. She appeared at the corner of my vision, always just out of reach, leaving behind a trail of icy air and a lingering sense of sorrow. Her lips moved in a silent plea, demanding her tale to be told correctly. Every podcast episode since then has been a desperate attempt to appease these apparitions, to give them a voice so they might finally rest. But they seem to multiply, each new figure more insistent than the last. Act 2 began in the middle of recording when my laptop screen flickered, displaying a face that wasn't mine. It was a man, his eyes hollow yet burning with a story untold. The lights in my apartment dimmed, and shadows stretched across the walls, forming grotesque shapes that seemed to claw at the air. I felt the weight of their unfinished business pressing down on me, a suffocating force that threatened to consume my sanity. I realized then that I was not just a storyteller, I had become a medium, a conduit for their restless spirits. As I reached the climax of my latest episode, the air turned frigid, and the figures materialized fully around me, their forms clearer than ever before. They encircled me, their eyes filled with yearning I couldn't ignore. In a voice that echoed with the weight of the grave, they whispered in unison, "Tell our stories right, or join us forever." With trembling hands, I hit record, my voice steady despite the fear gripping my heart. I knew then that I had no choice but to continue, bound by a pact I never intended to make. In sharing their truths, I had become a part of their world, one story away from joining them in the shadows.